The Los Angeles Dodgers have just got some very good news as they have made multiple moves and are setting up more to come over the next few weeks. We're going to be breaking it all down, going over the return of Tommy Edman, who was DFA'd, as well as where things are heading in the injury direction over the next couple of weeks. Like I said, we're going to be breaking it all down here in this video. Before we do get into it, folks, if you haven't already, be sure to drop a sub here on the channel. We have a lot of stuff coming. Don't you worry. The Dodgers are getting healthy, finally. And we have a lot with all of these important games coming up. You will not want to miss it, so be sure to drop a sub here on the channel. Now, I want to go straight into Tommy Edman because his return was something we have waited for a long time for, and it is now official by the Los Angeles Dodgers themselves. You see, they've reinstated infielder-outfield Tommy Edman from injury list, designated once again Santiago Espinal for assignment. Now, this was the second time that we have seen, at least for the Dodgers' sake, Santiago Espinal be DFA'd, but I would not be surprised to also see him stay once again. Now, it's a bit of a different scenario here. There is no, really right now, easy path for a return for Espinal, but the way he stayed, kind of, waited around for the Dodgers last time, they ended up re-signing him again due to the fact that, once again, Kike went out very, very quickly. It is something I could also see once again. And, Tommy Edman, important to have back in the lineup. He's not going to be a guy that's going to absolutely slash for you, but his fielding is very important, his game is very important, but also just the atmosphere that he brings around the team is very, very important. And I feel like right now that is not one of the things the Dodgers are missing necessarily, but it's one thing that will continue to be able to help the Dodgers when they get to, deeper in the season. And we really haven't just had a full team yet, which is kind of a big loss for a team like this, LA Dodgers team, who've been together pretty much for the last couple of seasons. Now, I'm going to go over the rest of the moves that were made and why this is so important that we are seeing Tommy Edman return, and probably not where you expect. But folks, we do have a word from the sponsor of this video, Otis Edge. And if you see someone out there, they are saying that they win 80% of their bets, you gotta run. In most places, you pay one handicapper. If you lose both your bets and their fee. Other sites give you multiple handicappers, which is great, but you're paying separate fees for each one, and it gets a little expensive fast. And that's exactly why we use Otis Edge Analytics, where passion meets data. For one single price, you get access to 5 different expert analysis every day and access to Otis Edge University, where they teach you the bankroll management, betting strategy, and emotional discipline. That's what makes Otis Edge different. Download the free app right now and get their free picks of the day every day. Yes, free picks every day. Use the link in the description and the pinned comment, and now that's the Otis Edge. So thank you guys for sponsoring this video. But once again, we look at Tommy Edman as someone who we know is kind of going to be that fill-in for second base, but that does not seem to be the case fully. And you see this here come out from, not just Dodger Blue, but many different ideas and, players and, assets for the Dodgers here, I should say, is a better way of putting it. But Dave Roberts, more importantly, saying that, once again, this came out yesterday, but he was activated today, but he will not start until Wednesday, and is expected to play second, third, and left field. So, this is not a time where we're seeing Tommy Edman strictly in one position. Given his, kind of game throughout his past couple of seasons, and especially last year, you see, center field, second base, third base. Now, he did not play any left field at all last year. We saw him play it in his rehab assignment, and it's going to be interesting to see where things go, because before initially having Santiago Espinal DFA'd, a lot of people thought it was going to be Ryan Ward, and, that was going to be sent down, and that's not the case, at least right now. There are going to be a few other moves made in the next couple of days and weeks, one being Teoscar Hernández, which we're going to touch on here in just a minute, but having Tommy Edman in left field for that time being is going to be a big opportunity to get another right-handed bat in, and that's really kind of a big idea as to why it was Santiago Espinal. You're keeping that right-handed bat here, but when you're looking at where the projected playing time was from the Dodgers this season on Fangraphs, Tommy Edman was leading second base at 66%, which I think is still going to be a case where he's going to be there, but you see as well, 5% on third base, and in left field, he was only for 4%, with 2% in center field. So For right now, at least, looks like Tommy Edman, is going to be playing a little bit of left field, a little bit of third, but I think once we get back to a fully healthy team, it will be Tommy Edman taking that second base role, at least for the time being, because like I've said in a couple of videos now, they've been linked to a few different infielders, one being Gleyber Torres from the Tigers. If it comes down to not trusting Tommy Edman, or, he comes back and once he starts playing, gets kind of his feet back under him, he's not what the Dodgers were hoping he would be, I can see a trade being made, I don't think that they're rushing anything, but I think they have everything on the table when it comes to more moves, and I think a big example of that is Jack Dreyer. When he came off the IL, you see his stats right now, a 9 ERA, really hasn't been great, but luckily the Dodgers have the assets to be able to make it happen when everybody gets healthy or even on the trade market, so something like this, it's always possible, no matter who it is. Not just Tommy Edman. This could be something with Teoscar as well. Let's hope it's obviously not. But, having sitting out for a month or so, a month plus, some people can start off slow before they get their feet back under them. And, that's just part of the game at this point. And now, when you're looking at the list of injured players, Will Smith, Kike Hernandez, and Teoscar Hernández, which, we really don't have a timeline for Kike right now. Will Smith should be back, I believe, in a couple of days. 2 days, I believe, from now, he can be activated, so that is a positive sign. Whether or not he'll be back right away is to be determined, but Teoscar Hernández also going to be back pretty soon, and we look at these few updates that we have here from Jack Harris. Teoscar Hernández could go out on a rehab assignment this weekend if his recovery keeps going well over the coming days, which is, once again, a huge benefit. That would lead to Tommy Edman being back at second base, third base for the most time, but also given the opportunity, still play in the outfield, left field, center field, wherever it is, and I do think that they will take their time getting him back into center field, which is why left is a little bit more of a priority for him right now. But also, we got this on Edwin Diaz. He's coming along really well, and that's a good thing. Once again, Jack Harrison, he says scheduled to throw a bullpen session this week, expected to return to remain sometime after the All-Star break. Once again, no point in rushing him back when the Dodgers are still in a pretty good position. You want to get your bullpen as good as possible, but I think the most important thing is getting Edwin Diaz back to as best as possible, have his impact when he does return be a significant one, and that's one the Dodgers are really hoping for, and I guess kind of the Jack Dreyer thing is also why we're seeing a lot of these rumors and links towards other names like Aroldis Chapman and a few other relievers, but you have Edwin Diaz. I think that's not something you can forget. That's not something that I think you can put on the out on the back step, because when he comes back, he's the best reliever in baseball. Whether or not, he will actually be this year with some incredible stats from Aroldis Chapman, it don't matter, because we've seen it over the past couple of years. He is the best player in baseball, the best reliever in baseball. There's no doubt about it. So that's another thing to keep in mind. Very good that he's still on schedule, and just after the All-Star break, excited to see him back. But one more thing that we're going to have an update on in another video, but I want to touch on just a little bit here in this one. Tyler Glasnow is still not throwing or making much progress with his back injury whatsoever by Jack Harris, and I feel like this is a big question as to if this could be another move for a starting pitcher. I don't think it necessarily means yes, but I think this makes it a little bit more likely for someone that, like, Tarek Skubal, whether or not that is realistic at this point. I think it makes it a little bit more realistic when you're looking at a potential World Series rotation once again, and who you may want to move into the bullpen. So that's something I just want to throw out here and keep that in mind. But folks, that is all I have here in this video. If you did enjoy it, give it a like, hit the sub button, let me know what you think about these moves down below. But that's all I got. Thank you for watching. Hope you have a great day. See you later.